that's just sometimes how the process goes. But getting the bill from draft to being passed, how much longer then do we have to wait? Because it's
Well,
something that should have happened like since
yeah,
yesterday.
yeah, and I couldn't agree with you more on that. As I understand it, uh, the a cabinet paper would have to be prepared by the Ministry of People's Empowerment to go to cabinet for its consideration of the bill. I believe that it is somewhere at that stage. Uh, Once cabinet approves, or if the cabinet feels any amendments have to be made, it will then, I believe, it's gone to the CPC's Chief Parliamentary Council's office already for review, and then of course to Parliament. As you know, Parliament has adopted the stance within the last year of sending social, socially oriented bills that have a tremendous impact on society to the social committee of Parliament, as was done with the Child Justice Bill and Child Protection Bill recently, and then it would come back to Parliament. The Minister Kurt Humphrey is still publicly stating he would love to see it become a reality before the end of this calendar year. I certainly, as someone within Parliament as well, the elected Parliament, pushing for that as well. So that's where are at right now. But both Janelle and John have raised interesting points. Yesterday we went through, as we all know, a tropical storm, which is, it is a hurricane. Fortunately for us, it passed here only as a tropical storm, but we have another 5 months of a hurricane season this year. And persons with disabilities are very vulnerable in such situations. Yesterday, I would have sent out messages trying to tell persons with disabilities and their caretakers, if you feel unsafe, go to the hurricane shelter. I see that the Minister of Home Affairs has reported that we had almost 400 persons in the hurricane shelters, as 21 of them wheelchair accessible, quite a few of the schools. Um, and government has a list of the most vulnerable persons in Barbados, many of them including persons with disabilities. I certainly, as a member of Parliament, know who virtually all the persons with disabilities are in my constituency. But this is an ongoing exercise. And as I said, during the passage of adverse weather conditions is just one situation which amplifies the the vulnerability of persons with disabilities in small island states, coastal states such as Barbados, which has to be of prime attention not only to the government but to all of us, and we all have to be our neighbours keepers in such an event. In terms of what John said, the private sector, extremely important. Government can put policies in place, but it has to be an all of Barbados approach. And yes, there are many employers in the private sector who do not want to employ people with disabilities. They may get through the door in an accepted interview based on their CV, well qualified, can do the job. But then when a lot of persons who are on interviewing panels see that they have maybe immobility, don't want to employ them because it might mean retrofitting their place. But COVID, for example, has shown us that you can have remote work. You can work from home. We have to make these adjustments. What is wrong with adjusting your work station place to accommodate a person with disability? We have persons with disabilities all over the world. Some, I think the head of state or the prime minister of Samoa has a disability. Their ambassadors, the ambassador of Antigua to the United Nations has a disability. Um, England has ambassadors with disabilities. And when you see people of tremendous talent, like Janelle here, for instance, an attorney at law, top of her class in both law degree and law school, the most honorable Carrie Ann Eiffel, persons with this, and many others I can name, uh, have tremendous talent. As citizens of Barbados, they have a constitutional right, every person with disability to attain their fullest potential, just like anyone else. And, this is what we are advocating and pushing for. But it has to be a situation, as John said, where everyone is aware and sensitive to the issues relating to persons with disabilities.
I'm not sure that they're not sensitive, more so that they somehow tend to want to turn a blind eye to some things for some strange reason. But like I said, I just think that, and I'm not really sure what it is, and I know Mr. Hollingsworth said we need to have a public awareness campaign. But the thing is what I have found is that people do tend to pay attention to these things, but then we tend to have this attitude, well, if it don't affect me, I'm interested.
There's that, but there's also insensitivity because across the road there, Massey, who is one of the major employers of persons with disabilities in Barbados, that is the truth. They have car parking places for persons with disabilities. But I would bet you that sometime today, someone who does not have a disability or who does not have a passenger with a disability in their vehicle is going to park in that car, in one of those car park spaces. And if they're told, but look, this is for persons with disabilities, they're going to react badly. That is the reality of Barbados as well. So a lot of persons, until they themselves get acquire a disability, whether temporarily or permanent, or someone who they are very close to in terms of family or friendship, a lot of them are insensitive and don't really care.